Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Gramegna, and I'm here today once again for a Raptors watch along. We have the Raptors finally back from the NBA All-Star break. We've had a full week off, more than a full week off. Haven't played since the previous Wednesday, and we're back today on the road against the Chicago Bulls. Raptors, 9 games above 500, 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. Couple games back of 4th. I think it's 3 games up on the play-in tournament positions, which we want to avoid, of course. And we're taking on the 24-31 Chicago Bulls. A really fresh look Chicago Bulls that made a lot of moves at the NBA trade deadline and are just kind of sorting themselves out a little bit. This is a Bulls team that the Raptors got a pretty large glimpse of before the All-Star break, 3 games before the All-Star break when they beat this team 123-107. And memory serve, if memory does serve, it was a decently comfortable win for the Raptors in the end. So in a good position to find some success today, and it will be a very, very welcome sight for the Raptors to get a comfortable win here out of the All-Star break and just kickstart the rest of the season, because 4 losses out of 7 for the Raptors leading into this one. Well, I guess leading into the All-Star break, so in that sense, leading into this one. So we shall see just what we can get out of this Raptors team, but I mean, you gotta feel pretty good about the Raptors and their chances of winning this game here today. Just gonna pull up the spread to give us a even better sense of what to expect here. Raptors favored by 6.5-ish on the road. Again, good indication of some possible success for the team. Starting fives are out. We'll just go through them here before I address the chat. We have the Raptors going with Quickly, Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, and Murray Boyles as the starter. And I say that with a slightly surprised tone because I'm not sure if Jakob Poeltl is on the injury report. And I just tried to scrape and find out if he was. I guess I could just go to the ESPN. It does not appear that Jakob Poeltl is anywhere on the injury report. So it does, therefore, appear as though Murray Boyles is the preferred starter here. Now, if Poeltl is 100% and not a minutes restriction, would that be the case? I'm not sure. But as for this game today, Poeltl is not starting, though he is in the lineup. A bit of a strange one, as I mentioned. For those new-look Chicago Bulls, we have Josh Giddey, Anthony Simons, Isaac Okoro, Matas Buzelis, and Jalen Smith. That is their starting 5. Yeah. That's probably a team the Raptors should beat. I mean, let's be honest. That's one you're gonna feel like you should be winning if you're a Raptors fan. Not really any other way to spin this. This has got to be one where the Raptors come out on top and win. You know, if you want to be serious, you want to make the playoffs, these are the games. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? So let's hope they can do it. And let's hope. I know we like exciting games. I know we want to see some action and whatnot. But I wouldn't mind just a simple win for the team today. You know, I feel pretty good about that, I think. But anyways, how's everyone doing? Sorry, just something came up my phone right here. How's everyone doing? How was everyone's break from NBA action? I felt like, it was a pretty good break for even myself in a way. I got a little bit of a refresher, some more weeknights freed up. That was fine for me. I feel nice and refreshed, shall I say, ready to attack the rest of the season here. So let's dig into it. Let's dig into it a little bit, shall we? Anyways. Say what's up to the people in the chat. We've got Blaze45YT joining us. We have Nate D joining us. Either IBS or LBS Scotty Edits. Pickleball Pat. And Daniel Berry Sports Sites. What's going on, everybody? Hope you've all been well. If you're just joining us for today's stream, make sure you've hit the like button if you have not done so already. It does go a very, very long way. It makes a big difference to the channel when we get support like that. Helps drives us up in the YouTube algorithm and gets more eyes on this content. So I appreciate if you hit the like. Also, if you're new, subscribe. I'm live 3 times a week to cover Raptors news and updates, provide my opinion on them, and to do watch-alongs like this where I give my thoughts on the Raptors games in real time as they happen. So, lots of fun stuff on this channel. I think if you like the Raptors, you will like this channel. You may even love it. You may even love it. Consider that. Go into the chat here. We have some Raptors fans feeling a little bit anxious about this game. I feel pretty good, which is usually a bad sign on this channel. Historically, when I feel good about a game, it's usually an indication that we're about to drop a game that we maybe shouldn't drop. So I hope that is I hope obviously that is not the case for today's game. I've been pretty busy with work today. I know I've been saying I have the week off work, but I've still been doing like other stuff on my own time. And on my own time today, I have done a lot of work. And tomorrow I plan on not working because Canada plays in their semifinal of men's Olympic hockey at about 10:10, and I want to just be able to watch that comfortably. So I'm getting a bunch of stuff done today to get tomorrow to just have a real vacation day, I suppose. Further down in the chat, if the Raptors lose this game, it won't look good. It won't look good. No. If they lose to the Bulls, it won't be a great look for this team. Absolutely not. Should be good tonight. I agree with Pickleball Pat in that assumption of this game. And Pickleball today, I had my nail biter for the day already. I'm not sure what you're referencing. There were a couple things I had a vested interest in. First of all, the women's Olympic hockey gold medal game. Unfortunately, Canada was up with just over 2 minutes to go, 1-0, ended up losing in overtime. That was a shame. Yeah, that was a nail biter for sure. That one, the nerves were going for that one. They got really close. Unfortunately, listen. I respect the women's sports. I respect women's hockey. I have a larger interest in the men's hockey, and the nerves will be going a lot more for that. Not that I don't have an interest in women's hockey. I very much wanted Canada to win today. I watched the whole game, but the one I want even more is the men's, and we still have a chance to do that. But got to get through the semifinal tomorrow at, I think it's 10:40 start time, which kind of sucks. Well, I'll tell you, the gold medal game at 8:10, if they get there, sucks even more. I don't even know if they lose and they play Brown. I don't even know if I'll watch. Anyways, another nail biter I mentioned, Canada men's curling. They are in the semifinals. Well, actually, the women played this morning as well in a game they pretty much needed to win in the round robin to advance to the semifinals. Shout out the women's curling team because they started the tournament 1-3 and then won 6 games in a row. And I think it was in the end they needed to win all 6 to advance to the semifinals of the curling event, and they were able to do that. Canada's men, on the other hand, won their semifinal today against Norway, and that was a tense affair. Went to an extra end, and Canada got it done. So I'm enjoying the curling. I always enjoy curling at the Olympics. Some sports I love seeking out the Olympics. In Winter Olympics, it's curling for sure. Summer Olympics, probably rugby sevens. I love watching the rugby at the Summer Olympics, men's and women's. Canadian women's teams have done, I think, great at the past 2 Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, back on to things here. Yeah, but put it plainly, yeah, it's probably a game the Raptors should be winning today. Skywalking says, do you like the NBA eliminating tanking? Well, the NBA is not eliminating tanking. The NBA is putting in measures that will deter tanking efforts by teams. That does not mean that the NBA is eliminating tanking. The only way you can eliminate tanking is if there's no draft, there's no lottery. As long as there is an incentive, rather, not even an incentive, as long as there is a reward for tanking, teams are going to do it. If there is a reward for losing, why would a team not do it? So the reference here from Skywalker in the chat is, I believe, this one from Shams Tarania, who said that multiple sources of the Thursday general managers meeting, as well as the late January competition meeting, told ESPN the following concepts have been discussed to curb tanking. Not implemented, discussed. However, Adam Silver does plan to implement anti-tanking rules for next season, which could include some of this. So I'll go through them one by one and give my stance. We'll talk about this a bit more in depth tomorrow on the Happy Hour stream. First round picks can be protected only top 4 or top 14. So top 4, you could still tank to try and get a top 4 pick so that you keep your pick. Although the top 4 is not like ironclad protected by the lottery. If you're the worst team in the NBA, you still have a 48% chance of not getting a top 4 pick. So something to keep in mind there. But teams will still tank for that. And they will still tank to be a lottery team in some instances. Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or a later date. Now that one is interesting. However, teams are just going to tank earlier. Teams are just going to tank earlier in the season. Now later in the season, will they try more? I suppose it's possible. But man, if I can lock in my lottery odds at the trade deadline, best believe from day fucking 1, I'm tanking if I think my team sucks. No longer allowing a team to pick in top 4 for consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. That's cool, but like, if I'm still a bad team, I'm still going to tank. Maybe I won't pick in the top 4, but I can still pick 5th, and I can still tank to better my chance of getting that 5th pick, right? Teams can't pick top 4 the year after making the conference finals. That one's a strange one. That doesn't really happen very often. But again, if my team sucks, I could still tank, and I could still wind up with a 5th pick, and the 5th pick would be pretty sweet to my conference final roster. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. So that one's a little interesting, where it's like, where you see less of a benefit immediately to tanking. Therefore, maybe there's a higher motivation to be good. So, like, let's say I tanked the year prior, and I have, I'm locked in at the best odds for the first overall pick, or the best odds for the lottery, for example. I can really start trying next season because I know I've got that in the back pocket. However, teams will still tank because they will get the pick. They'll just get the pick in 2 years. They'll still tank. There's still incentive to tank that. That doesn't solve tanking at all. Maybe minimally. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams. That one is good. I like that one because teams are trying to avoid the play-in tournament. But now there is a much larger incentive to get to the play-in tournament because you can still make the playoffs and be a lottery team. That's pretty sweet, to be honest. You could in theory win an NBA championship and also win the draft lottery in the same season. That's kind of interesting. I do like this. I do think this would impact tanking, especially if we flatten the odds for all lottery teams, which is the final thing here. I would be a supporter of that just because, like, I tanking is truly a large issue for the league. I've become a lot more radical on tanking, I think, in the last couple of weeks. It's just gotten ridiculous and out of control here. Flattening the odds for all lottery teams is an interesting one. I think these two in conjunction are very, very interesting. Absolutely. Because you can still get the same odds and still try and get in the playoffs and still even get to the playoffs. You still have the same odds as the worst team in the NBA. I think there is much larger incentive to try and win games with that measure. So I do like those two. The rest I'm not really a fan of. And at a certain point, I feel like there's too many rules. You know, like are we doing too much? Are we going a little bit overboard here? I mean, I say that, but like contracts have so many stipulations and trade exceptions and salary cap. There's all these like little things as well. So I suppose we've already jumped the shark. I suppose, but at a certain point, I kind of look at this and I'm like, are we just going too far? Like, I think that really ending the. I think all play-in teams getting in the lottery is very, very interesting, while flattening the odds, I think, is a really interesting way to approach it. I get that smaller markets rely on the draft and bad teams rely on the draft, but maybe it's a necessary measure to eliminate that aspect of team building. I think I'd be radical enough to say just like get rid of the NBA draft and just have teams sign players. The best teams can't just sign everybody because there's a salary cap, and you could put a limit on how many of these players you can sign, for example. But also, like, I'm getting really sick of just rewarding bad teams. Now, look, some teams are blessed to be in a better market or a better tax area, and it's easier to attract players to these areas for sure. Some teams are good and have built up a long foundation of history that like people are attracted to and have built themselves up to be a big market that people are attracted to. At a certain point, like maybe we reward teams for being good. Maybe the fact that the Lakers were just they built so many champions in the past, perhaps as a result of them building like that organization having so much success, they deserve the reward of being a more attractive destination for free agents. That could be free agents coming out of the draft. You could also look at the Lakers and say, well, I don't know how many real development stories come out of there. Are they that good with, young players? Maybe you could build yourselves at this real development industry that young players would be interested in signing for you because this is the team that's going to advance my career the most. Like everyone's saying, like some of the best young players. And look, some of the very best young players want to challenge for a championship in year one. But I think for some players, they could look at it and say, well, I'd rather go to a team where I'm going to start every game and I can really hone in on my development rather than, be a 7th or 8th man on a really good team. I don't know. I'm happy the NBA is looking into doing something, but I don't want some of these silly rules that they're proposing. Some of them kind of make sense to me, but there's too much reward for being bad. That's just the only way to solve tanking is to eliminate the reward for being bad. And I think a couple of them that we talked about there are interesting for sure. Anyways, going back to the chat here. David says, the Canadian women's hockey team that goal game showed more heart against a good opponent than the Pistons last week. The Raptors against the Pistons. Well, yeah, I mean, one of them were playing in a gold medal match. The other ones were playing in a regular season game. I'd love for the heart to be at those levels for every game I watch, but I can understand why there was a little bit more incentive from the Canadian women's hockey side for a game of that magnitude. I mean, they didn't bring that energy to the first game they played against the States when they got slapped 5-0, but they definitely brought a gold medal game. They were excellent and very easily could have won. They had their chances, man. They did have their chances, but the USA are a much better team. It would have been a bit of an upset if Canada had won, truthfully, but they almost did. They almost did. My question is about the trade deadline. It says, do you like the NBA eliminating tanking? I think your question was about the NBA eliminating tanking. If it wasn't, then maybe you shouldn't have asked, do you like the NBA eliminating tanking? So I'm sorry if I got those confused. I thought the question about tanking was about tanking. We put the draft as free agency. Can we please put a deadline? If we put the draft as a free agency, can we please put a deadline? A deadline on signing players? I'm sure that would exist. There would be like a frenzy of signings. I mean, the draft is like a pretty large event for the NBA, I suppose. But I think a free agent frenzy of rookies would be a pretty crazy day for the NBA as well, which could get marketed quite well. And they could cover it like it's the trade deadline, or they could cover it like July 1st when free agency opens up in the NBA. Let me see. A lot of crap happened after the trade deadline, so something had to be done. I mean, yeah, teams have just gotten creative. I compare tanking to like ads. You know, you can install all these ad blocks. At the end of the day, that you're still going to see ads. There's still going to be stuff that comes out. There's still going to be ads that come up on your page. Sometimes there is sponsored content. So like if you have, I don't use an ad blocker on YouTube. I do use an ad blocker, but not on YouTube because I want to, reward the creators with the ad revenue, as hopefully you do as well. But if you use an ad blocker, I understand. But sometimes within the content that you are seeing, there are sponsored segments or there's sponsored articles, for example. There's ways around it. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is the more the NBA implements these regulations against tanking, the more teams will likely be creative in circumventing those to still tank. As long as there is an incentive to be bad and lose games, there will be tanking. Yeah. Did I see what Matt Ishbia said? He said something about like tanking is like loser mentality. I mean, I kind of like that he wants to win and wants success, but the draft is very valuable. That's where a lot of championships are built. Certainly, a large portion of the Raptors building a champion was as a result of their success in the draft. So the draft is important. And if you're not going to make waves in the playoffs and you can get a really good pick, like why would it? To me, like tanking is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Why on earth would you not tank? You know what I'm saying? It would make absolutely no sense not to tank for like let's take the Utah Jazz for example. Why on earth would that team not tank? Of course they're going to tank. It would be ridiculous if they didn't tank, So I completely understand why tanking exists. It's just you need to take, like I said, you need to take away the incentive to lose. And I think until the NBA does that, and it looks like they're going to start to implement some strategies to do that, until the NBA does that, tanking will continue to exist in the NBA. Remove the incentive, like flatten lottery odds, all play-in teams get in the lottery. Now I think we are starting to really remove that incentive. So I'm interested to see what the NBA does here, but we could be moving in a pretty good direction, I think. With it all, excuse me. But we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing, for sure. I'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow on the Raptors Happy Hour. And if you don't watch the Raptors Happy Hours, I think you should. I think you should tune in and start to watch them because we make it's good content. It's fun. It's good content. Anyways, starting fives coming out for both teams here. I already went through them. I'll go through them again. So for the Bulls, it is Josh Giddey, Anthony Simons, Isaac Okoro, Matas Buzelis, and Jalen Smith. For the Raptors, it is Emmanuel Quigley, RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and despite the fact that Jakob Poeltl is, to all my knowledge, healthy in terms of availability and available, Colin Murray-Boyles is the starting center for the Raptors today. So, of course, Poeltl not 100% and perhaps on a minutes restriction, but still interesting that Poeltl is healthy and available, and they are not going with him in the starting five. That is a very, very rare one there. Absolutely. You know what Paul said, like, implement the next NBA games actually starting on time. Wow. You know how, like, it has been so refreshing watching hockey at the Olympics? The games start on time. They don't have that shite on the advertising boards constantly bombarding you with ads. There's hardly any commercial breaks during the game. It is just clean. Hey, you want to watch hockey? You just watch the hockey. It was like watching basketball at the previous Olympics or even the FIBA World Cup. It was like I'm actually just watching basketball. I can just actually watch the sport. I don't have to sift through all of this nonsense all the time. Like even the NFL, this corporate monster, they start games on time. I know there's a lot of commercials, but like they start games on time, right? So how on earth can we not do that in the NBA? I say this like 400 times a season, but yes, it's refreshing at the Olympics to truly watch the sport. Did I see the All-Star Weekend was happening? I did not, because I did not watch. But I heard I heard some people liked it. Anyways, the game is getting started here. Jump ball won by the Bulls. I will get the game clock up on screen as soon as the ad is off the screen here, which is blocking the clock for me. We've got Okoro driving, and he loses it. Stolen by the Raptors. Brandon Ingram to the rim and finishing. He's got the first points of the game. 2-0 for the Raptors. If you guys are enjoying so far, you're ready for today's game, hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more Raptors content. Will I be showing the game? I will not, because that is illegal. I do not have the express written consent of the NBA. Be cool if one day they would let people do that, but, you know. It's hard enough to find the game yourself. They're not going to let somebody stream it on YouTube. I guess that non-Sabonis trade was a good thing for us. Well, the fact that he needs surgery, yeah, I enjoy not having to trade for a guy who needs surgery. That's for sure. Jakob not starting. No, Pirtle healthy, or not healthy. Available, Jakob Pirtle has not started in this game. No word on if he's on a minutes restriction or anything like that, but he is not starting. That is what we do know. Raptors have the ball again here. Brandon Ingram driving once again. Going at Buzelis and missing on the layup. Getting his own miss a couple of times before finishing, and he's got 4 points. Ingram scoreless through the All-Star games. In fact, was a DNP coach's decision in the final of the All-Star game, if that's what you want to call it. But 4 points nice and early for Toronto here. Buzelis going at Barrett in the wing to Okoro, and he loses it again. Playing against the Bulls reminded me of the game I went to a couple seasons ago where the Raptors played the Bulls, or was it last season? And the Raptors tanked and lost the game. It was pretty frustrating to be in the arena for that, but I understood why they were tanking. It was just frustrating to have made the effort to go. I didn't buy it. It was a gift. The tickets were a gift. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone. But it was frustrating to have, gone out of my way to go to the game, experience it live, and the Raptors were actively trying to lose. That's why, I think there's an issue with the product here. Baseball, I've gone to so many Jays games over my lifetime, so many years where they are bad, but every game I went to, I wanted the Jays to win, and the Jays tried to win. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 1 or 2 games I went to, they had like a lesser than sort of lineup out, but they always were trying to win, Oh, Barnes with the steal. To quickly, back to Barnes, who throws it down. 6-0 Raptors. They forced 3 turnovers already in this game and have made it work. They're up 6-0. Just over 2.5 minutes into proceedings. Buzelis, defended by R.J. Barrett here. Simons, in mid-range, gets the roll, and it drops there. If teams want to tank, the arena should be empty. I shouldn't, as a fan, lose half of a season of entertainment because my team is tanking. You know? I should be able to enjoy the season of basketball. At least try to enjoy watching them win. I shouldn't have to, want them to lose. That's just not right. Quickly, for 3, it doesn't go. Rebound batted out by Murray Boyles, but it's in the hands of Okoro. Giddey driving and missing. Tournament picks is a fun idea that doesn't really work for me, as RJ in the corner for 3 misses. First of all, if a team is in the lottery, it doesn't own a pick. Do they play in the tournament? What if the Clippers are in the lottery and OKC owns their pick? Do the Clippers have to play in the lottery, or are the Thunder playing in it? Or are they just removing a team from the tournament? Then it gets messy with numbers. Then in that tournament, how much do players give a shit about where their team is drafting? They probably don't care that much. If I'm on an expiring contract, I definitely don't give a shit about where my team picks. I won't be on that team to reap the reward of winning the tournament, for example. I think they will very, 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 very much struggle to get players to care about a tournament to decide the top seed or the first overall pick. Also, if the projected first round pick is my replacement, let's say I'm a starter, that's my replacement, I'm probably less motivated to play well in that tournament. To me, it's just very messy. Another turnover by the Bulls here. Ingram goes full court to Barrett, who throws it down. They lead 8-2, and I'm surprised no timeouts as of yet by the Bulls. That's why you have protected picks. But some teams make erroneous trades. And some teams make erroneous trades 5 years in advance. So the Clippers losing their pick to the Thunder, they probably didn't think they'd be in this position where they needed to have protected those picks. And if they had protected those picks, maybe the trade doesn't get done that they wanted to do. Sometimes you make a trade with no protections and it backfires. And now you're in the lottery and you don't own a pick. And you're in a lottery position, you don't own a pick. And who plays in that tournament, you know? RJ lobbed up to Murray Boyles and finishes. And it's 10-2 Raptors. Finally a timeout by the Bulls. By adding in more teams to the lottery, 18 teams, the odds of the worst team getting the best pick goes down. It does, but you still want to maximize your chances as much as possible. All players on tanking teams having season-ending surgery. Well, surgery, there are certain times when surgery is not unnecessary, but it's an optional sort of procedure. Like if you have an issue with your knee, for example, surgery could provide a more long-term solution. But if your team is playing important games and you're trying to earn money as an NBA player and you have a new contract coming up, you can sometimes find solutions that aren't surgery. Now, those fixes are not as effective and perhaps not long-term solutions to your injury, but you don't have the time to recover from that surgery. You need to be available now. So there's not enough justification to take all that time out. But if you're on a tanking team, well, if you need surgery, if surgery is a good option for you, then you may as well get it because the team doesn't really want to play you anyways. Could some of it be made up? I don't know, possibly, but I think sometimes surgery is an option, and then when your team is tanking already, you may as well get it, right? Yeah, Bulls are not looking good here. 5 turnovers, and a lot of them unforced as well. Do they credit them all? Is they have even more? No, 5 turnovers to nothing. Yeah, the Bulls can't keep the ball. The Raptors are absolutely taking advantage here. Pickle poutine. That poutine's good, by the way. What do you think about capping contracts to 1+1 with a team option for the second year and per the salary per year salary is higher than it is now? Like in general, for all NBA players, I would not support capping contracts to be 1+1 team options. I'd rather have the larger security of locking in a player long term than only having them potentially for 2 years. Contracts are very like win-win. You as a player lock in yourself financially long term. You as a team lock in a good player on your team long term. Buzelis. Pass to, who is this? Well, pass was stolen, but then they call a foul. Would they have called a foul if he didn't grab? It's Trey Jones. Would they have called a foul if he did not grab his face there? Probably not. Don't like that being the influence on the call, but they called it. Raptors up 10-2. Trey Jones again. In the corner, Okoro back up to Jones. Back in the corner to Okoro, who's open for three, and he connects. You might win a few of those bets on Okoro missing threes, so that's all right. 8 of the 10 points for Toronto today off of turnovers, which means not much in the half court. So let's try and get that going a little bit. RJ in the paint. This would be some half court work. Puts it up for 2, misses. Rebound to Buzelis. Raptors still with their, not with their starters. Most of their starters. Mamu has come in for Barnes. Still no sign of Pirtle. Lax the fire truck says Jakob's still playing today, though, right? He's just on a mentioning, I'm guessing, not starting. That's my assumption. There was no info on Jakob Pirtle today. He was not mentioned anywhere on the injury report. He was not mentioned, from what I've seen, to have been on a minutes restriction. There was no word on his availability. My assumption is he is on a minutes restriction. That is why he is not starting. It's another foul here. Nick Richards has hit the deck. Mamu again called for a foul. And they're going to review this, actually. Nick Richards is very wordy today with this Raptors team. Looks like, okay, it was on RJ. It's not Mamu. Didn't look like much, unless RJ got an elbow in there, which he might have. I mean, he flopped, but RJ hit him. RJ hit him. He absolutely flopped to sell the call, but RJ swung an elbow a little bit there. Oh, yeah, no, he hit him. Didn't look like he hit him hard enough for Nick Richards to collapse, but I mean, I would probably sell the call as well. So that's that'd be tough. That'd be tough to not call a flagrant, to be honest. Adam's all for it. Adam is all for getting a flagrant. Awesome. Yeah. I am all for getting a flagrant called against me that negatively impacts my team. I think there's better ways to, be tough and whatever. So still reviewing this. He definitely forcefully threw that elbow in there. Like he winded up and went in. That's a flagrant. I don't know if they're considering a flagrant 2, but that's a flagrant to me. Is Yak playing tonight? I've given you all the information I possess. So let's hear what they're saying. Okay, flagrant 1. Kind of had to be. So if we get to like the 3 or 4 minute mark here and Pirtle still hasn't come in, then I would start to say like, something weird is going on here. We still don't know if it's injury related or if it's just a decision for the team type of thing. So anyways, 11-7 here. Finally playing some basketball again. Okoro to inbound for the Bulls, right back on offense after the flagrant call against Barrett. Trey Jones going at Barrett. Pass nearly stolen again by the Raptors. In the corner now, Buzelis. Back out to Okoro. Now Trey Jones in the corner. Back up top, Okoro driving. Tough layup, but still is able to get it to go. Raptors trying to play with some pace here, even off the make. Ingram's got some room. Got Nick Richards jumping and is able to easily finish for 2 for Toronto, getting it right back. 5:55 to go. Quickly, nearly getting the steal there off Simons. Quickly, Mamu, Murray, Boyles, RJ, and Ingram on the floor for Toronto. As Nick Richards hauls in an offensive rebound and is fouled on his way back up for the Bulls. And it's once again on RJ Barrett. It'll send Nick Richards to the line. Mamu to Brandon Ingram. Near the elbow, trying to spin off Okoro here. Fading away for 2, and Brandon Ingram is feeling it today. That's at least 8 for the notorious BI3. Buzelis. 3 ball does not go. 15-11. Jakob Poeltl is now getting ready to sub into the game for the Raptors. 5 or so minutes to go here. So or he's checking in right now. 5 or so minutes to go, so maybe they'll bring in Pirtle for 4 or 5 minute stints. Are you excited for November 19th? I don't know. It's just unless I'm forgetting something, it's just another day of the year. Oh, GTA 6 release. Yeah, I'm sorry if I mistook you, but I just did not memorize the release date of GTA 6. Sorry, not GTA 5. Ingram again. And I'm excited. Well, I'll be excited when the game is downloadable, because the amount of fucking delays that game has had, I don't trust anything. 15-13 here after Nick Richards throws it down there. I will not book work off, but I will look forward to playing that game. If it comes out on a weekday, I can wait until, a weekend or whatever to play. Still going to be there. Colin Sexton the ball for the Bulls. All these new players, man. And he's fouled. Going to take him to the line here with 4:04 to go in the first. This first quarter has been going on forever. Oh, my God. No, I've never booked off work for a video game to come out. I'm comfortable waiting, a couple days if I have to play. When I was younger, FIFA coming out was a big deal, but I waited until, end of the school day. I'd come home and fire it up. My most anticipated video game release for a long time was Ghost of Yote, which I've now 100%ed, but I had to wait like 2 or 3 weeks to play that because of how busy I am, which I was okay with. I would have preferred to play, but I had to wait a little bit. So I can wait. I can be patient. I've waited like over a decade of GTA 6. I can wait an extra few days. Turnover by the Raptors. Pirtle and Walter are on the same wavelength there. It's an over and back. And the Raptors, after their hot start forcing turnovers, have struggled to generate consistent offense since then. And it's only 17-14 here. Goes of Yote was fantastic. Great follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, which was a masterpiece. Not as good. It's hard to stack up to a masterpiece, but it was a fantastic game once again. Just the combat system is pretty close to flawless. Unbelievable. So good. Highly recommend playing the Ghost franchise if you have yet to do so. Sexton and Raptors force a steal. Nearly. It's a jump ball, but Walter does a great job of almost ripping it away from Sexton and potentially earning the Raptors an extra possession here. When GTA 5 came out, I was like 12 or 13, so I waited quite a bit for... I think I waited until I was like 14 to get that, because I had a job. I just gotten a job, so I all of a sudden had money, so I bought a PS4, and then I bought GTA was on sale. But GTA 6 will be an immediate purchase, that's for sure. Trey Jones in the corner, Yabusele out to Sexton, and he throws it off of Mamu's shin. He wasn't looking or something. It just hit his shin and went out of bounds. Probably should have been a turnover for the Raptors, but instead the Bulls left 7 seconds on the inbound at the baseline. Pirtle just tying his shoes. Inbound from Jones. Getting it up top to Nick Richards. You don't need to defend him so aggressively, Yak. And offensive foul against Sexton. So after all that, Walter does earn that steal, or the forces the turnover, rather. Sexton coming up high on his face. And Darko pleading that Sexton had actually stepped out of bounds. How old are you? I'm guessing 25. I am 26. So, quite young when GTA 5 came out, all those years ago. Pirtle puts it in with the right. I've gone half my life without a new GTA release. Isn't that crazy? We did get Red Dead 2, though. And Red Dead 2 is an unbelievable game. 1914. Yabusele working on Mamu off the glass and getting the bounce. 1916 with 2:53 to go. This has to be a long quarter, man. Barnes in mid-range. Doesn't get the shot to fall. Jalen Smith has the miss. Outlets to Trey Jones. Here come the Bulls again. Raptors offense relatively quiet in this one. Sexton corner three would have tied it. Weak side rebound for Scotty Barnes. Running the floor. Finding a lane. Rising up and almost throwing it down on Jalen Smith. Unable to convert, and on the other side, Trey Jones lays it in, and the quarters extend even further because Darko Rajakovic needs a timeout here. Oh, we're still winning. I mean, it's been... the defense has been pretty good here, but the turnovers, without the turnovers, this would be a problem. Turnovers are great, and the Raptors thrive when they win the possession battle, but there's very much a lack of production when there's very much a lack of production when they're in the half court, which is not great and a little concerning to start the game. But long game, chance to figure it out. Maybe back from the All-Star break, need a little bit of time to settle into things, I suppose. Just trying to combing through some of the numbers here. Raptors are struggling, man. 43% from the field. No threes made yet, and the Bulls haven't been great either. But we've taken 8 more shots than them. We really should be up by quite a bit here. So just need to dial back in. They have taken 5 more free throws, but we should be up by more than 1, which is the current state of affairs. Yeah, man, sports for all ages. That's what it's about. Absolutely. The majority of the audience we have here is older than me. So make of that what you will, I suppose. Back from the timeout, what are the Raptors drawn up here? Jamal Shed too quickly, has room for 3, way off the mark, and it's off the Raptors for a Bulls ball. 0 of 4 from 3. Seems like the Raptors so far struggle a bit with the size and physicality as Jamal Shed draws a steal at half court. Where they have not struggled is forcing these turnovers. Once again, able to do that here. It was off of Shed. It was either off of Sexton or it was an 8-second violation. Either way, it is a turnover and Raptors ball. They head back on offense here. 1:57 to go in the first. Quick. Stopping on a dime. And in mid-range, he had a good look, but was unable to convert. I looked at some numbers. Quickly, I actually been pretty average in terms of non-restricted area paint field goal attempts. He doesn't take that many. It felt like he took a lot. Relative to the rest of the league, he takes very few, and he's moderately efficient. He's efficient enough on them, let's say, relative to the rest of the league. But anyways, a miss there. Raptors still stuck on 19 as the inbound is stolen by Walter. Went up strong. Probably should have. I get he's heading to the line here, but he probably could have just passed that to Pirtle. He's smiling. I think he just wanted the highlight or something. Very poor pass by Sexton. Walter, with Jalen Smith closing in, he really wanted to yam that on him, but I think the better play was just to dump off to Pirtle. But hey, if Walter can just knock down both these free throws, no problem. First free throw is good. Finally, a point for the Raptors. .131 left in the first as the second free throw goes up, and it goes down. All right, he got the two anyways. 3-point game. Raptors leading the turnover battle 6-6. 12 of their 21 points off of those turnovers. And another potential turnover here. Can they complete it? Yes, another steal by the Raptors. And then a foul as the Raptor moving away in transition. It was a real team effort on that one. It was Barnes and Shed converging with the trap at half court. Forcing the tough pass out. Pirtle got in the way a little bit, and then Walter was a player who ended up coming up with it. I don't know if he'll get credit for that steal. And the Raptors are in the bonus, so after knocking down both free throws, Walter is going right back to the well. Walter free throw is good. Buzelis coming back in for the Bulls. 1:19 to go in the first here. Defense, the name of the game for Raptors, who are stuttering quite a bit on offense. They've now opened up a 5-point lead with 4 straight free throws by the sophomore Jacoby Walter. What do the Bulls have this time? Pass to Patrick Williams. Now Rob Dellingham throwing it out of bounds. Another turnover by the Bulls. This is unbelievable, man. That's like 11 or 12 turnovers. Oh, they tested it. They say it's gone off Shed. It's actually out of bounds for a Bulls ball, So Shed with a deflection. Sexton for 3, though, is able to finish. And it's a 2-point game. Shed driving. Poor pass stolen by Sexton. The Bulls get a turnover of their own. And then Sexton, he nearly gave it right back. But Smith cleans it up and throws it down and ties the game at 23. Yeah, when your offense has been as bad as it is, you can't afford to give away easy ones like that. But got to keep going. It's quickly from about 6 feet is able to somehow maneuver his body to put it up and in. 25-23. Sexton. Defended by Shed. Switching on to Pirtle, looking for the mismatch here as teams typically do. Can we get the help? Sexton, yes, has to go out to Buzelis. Now in the corner. Pass stolen by Walter. It's a shot clock violation anyway, but Walter, hopefully they give him credit because it was another steal by the sophomore. That'd be his third of the first quarter. 5.8 seconds to go. Raptors have loads of time to get this ball up court and try to generate another bucket here. Oh, we get an extra 0.1 seconds. We actually have 5.9 seconds for this play. Will it be the difference? Quickly, just not a good shot, but okay, clock was winding down. That wraps up the first quarter. Raptors lead this one 25-23 in this one. All right, well, we will keep it moving here at the end of the first. Raptors struggling here. They've been excellent on defense. They've forced 11 turnovers. That's generating them a lot of looks. But if you're winning the turnover battle by that much, and you forced 11 turnovers, you probably have more than 25 points. The offense has not quite been there as of yet. Anyways, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving on the show. I recently came into contact with a group that is trying to do make a real difference in the world and provide some real charitable work into people within our own community. So wanted to take a second to talk about that here today. Not a sponsored segment or anything. They asked me to discuss it on the stream today, and I was happy to oblige. So let's discuss it a little bit further here. I have the flyer up on screen now to talk about Lucas and the donations for @Let'sCureLucas. Now, to help drum up engagement with this and to get more money being funded into this, they're actually doing some great stuff in regards to a giveaway or a sweepstakes for a box at an upcoming Raptors game. For more information, you can go to @Let'sCureLucas on Instagram, but I have the flyer up on screen here. This is a great opportunity to get really almost once in a lifetime type of seats for a Raptors game. The value of the box is $3,500. You get 8 tickets for this box. It's private for you, just you and your guests, with private entrance to the stadium. Now, a little more information on Lucas. He's a 4-year-old from Toronto. He's recently been diagnosed with an ultra-rare genetic disease. He's only 1 or 2 people in the world that have this with it documented. It's impairing his ability to walk, talk, stand, his hand-eye coordination, fine motor skills, and things of that nature. He once had these skills, but this genetic condition is causing these skills to deteriorate a little bit. They're doing their best to fund for research and development of gene therapy for him. And there's a sizable cost associated with this, so they're trying to raise as much funds as possible. You can go to the GoFundMe link, which I'm going to actually add to the description here, or again to his Instagram to learn more. But all proceeds here are going directly towards this research and funding for this research. Not a cent of profit is being made here, and it's an opportunity for you to potentially get a real unique experience at a Raptors game. Raffle entries are as such: $25 for 1 ticket, $50 for 3 tickets, and $100 for 10 tickets. I spoke with the people involved in this today. If you want to get involved and you have the means to do so, you can go to their Instagram @Let'sCureLucas. I will link that in the description as well. They're currently not linked, so I'm going to link them right now. So if you do want to get involved, you can refresh this in just a second here and find some more information. But this isn't. They're doing their best to get exposure to this. I want to do as much to help them get exposure towards this. From speaking to them, candidly behind the scenes, Um, you've got a pretty decent shot here at this raffle. So if you have the means to do so, it is going to a fantastic cause. And you're supporting some very important funding here, and you have the possibility of getting a sensational experience at a Raptors game. So I highly recommend you go and check it out. If anything, maybe head over to the Instagram page just to learn more on the condition and bring more exposure to something like this. But I have now linked the GoFundMe, which is not associated with the raffles, just if you want to do extra, and the Instagram. Within the Instagram, they want you to send a DM, and that is where they will provide the information how you can enter the raffle. Again, $25 for one ticket, $50 for 3 tickets, and $100, I believe it was 10 tickets for $100. So, again, please, guys, if you have the means to do so, it's a great cause. I talked to the people involved, some great people. Show your support. Again, not paid to say this. It was brought to my attention, and I wanted to provide some more exposure to it into the Raptors community. All right. Links are, again, refresh the stream. Go to the links in the description to learn more and to get involved. Again, DM the Instagram account at Let's Cure Lucas to get more information on how you can enter that raffle. All right. We're back on the game here. 30-29 for Chicago. Barnes driving and laying it in at the rim. Jalen Smith turns it over. Another turnover forced by the Raptors. Grady Dick, his pass deflects right back to him. Flings it out to Scotty Barnes. Should have been 2 for the Raptors. And Barnes goes up, misses at the rim, but he's fouled, so maybe 2 anyways. First free throw for Barnes is good. 32-30. Barnes makes both. Raptors 7 of 7 from the line. They have now eclipsed the free throw attempts that the Chicago Bulls have. They are dominating the turnover battle, yet only up by 3. Showcase of where their struggles have been. It's creating offense. But nearly, oh my God, and almost another turnover there. This is crazy. Giddey gets it in for Yabusele. Back to Josh Giddey, who's returning from injury here. Buzelis for 3. Doesn't go at the shot clock buzzer. Rebound spills away out to Grady Dick. Scotty Barnes on it now, running point for the Raptors on this possession. Pulls up for the jumper at the free throw line and is able to connect. Quick 4 points for Barnes. Has Raptors up by 5. Just looking to find some more consistency to their offense here. Giddey in the corner to Patrick Williams. Go ahead. Go ahead, P. Will. You got that, bro. No good there. And then a turnover by the Raptors, other side. Can't be doing that, like I said. Yabusele in the corner for 3 for the Bulls. No good. Spills out to the weak side where Giddey has it. Finds Simons open for 3. Don't want to do that too often. He misses, though. Buzelis can't put in the rebound. And the Raptors have it. Darko upset with something. He calls a timeout. And they're going to chat it over. Raptors just quit shooting threes. They really shouldn't. They should continue to shoot threes because of the effectiveness of the shot. It'd be great if they could start to hit some more, though. But no, it is it's a fundamental part of the game that you need to try and execute on. But yeah, today they've really sucked from three today, no doubt about it. But I wouldn't say they're overshooting. They're taking their good looks. They've only taken 7 shots from three, almost a quarter and a half through the game. This guy looking inspired by the All-Star break. Trying to remember the last time he was an All-Star. I feel like he dropped off in the second half of the season. Not that it's related to this season. I don't recall him kicking on after that. So hopefully this season, it's a real spur on to keep up the incredible impact he's had in the season so far. We did have a losing season. You were correct. We were tanking. That you're also correct there. It made it more difficult on him. But his game dropped. Like his 3-point percentage dropped. Live production dropped. Did the tanking play a part? Surely it did. But hopefully, this does inject him with the energy to keep going for the rest of the season. But that year, around the All-Star, like the start of the season, he was like 37% from three. Then he dropped down to like 34 by the end of the season. Which 34 is great. It just dropped quite a bit from where it was. This game, I don't know. It's just, we're back. This game, I keep saying, it's taking forever, dude. This game is taking fucking forever. This is a long-ass game. Am I wrong? Quickly to Pirtle. Now Barrett in the corner. Ingram for three. Eddie drills it. First three of the game for the Raptors. If you're new to the channel, you didn't even know I had the air horn when they hit threes. If you're new, by the way, you should subscribe. Hit the like button if you're enjoying so far, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your support tonight as we're back from the All-Star break. Bulls back to work on offense. Giddey wide open for the floater. He probably should have made that. Wow. Misses in tight, and then the rebound is off his hands, and it's a Raptors ball. Can they start to open this up a little bit? Can they start to impose their will a little bit more here? Less than a quarter and a half in an hour. This shit is going slow. Okay, it's not just me. It is taking a while. I feel like we're usually around like what time is it usually halftime? I feel like halftime is. I feel like it's usually halftime now, about an hour in. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Barrett at the line for the Raptors. Anyways, 39-30. RJ misses the second free throw. Bulls coming the other way with a bit of pace here. Giddey to Buzelis, and the Raptors caught out on the fast break, and it's a wide open dunk for Matas Buzelis. Shoots this quickly with the floater, is able to finish. Raptors back up by 9. And timeout called by the Bulls. 6:47 to go in the first half. And because I did not go through the box score from the first quarter, let's go through now. Let's see what we got. Ingram is definitely cooking for the Raptors. He's got 12 points. He's 5 of 9. Scotty Barnes, pretty quietly, has gone for 10 points here, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a couple of steals to go with that as well. Barrett a bit quiet early, but lots of time left. Quickly, 2 of 7, 0 of 3 from 3. Murray Boyle's going to do his thing, 2 of 2. Pirtle played 6 minutes, so I'm wondering if he's limited to like 20 to 25 minutes here, and that's why he didn't start. But interesting decision to not go with him from the starting five, despite the fact that he was available today. Walter's got 4 free throws for 4 points. Not much out of Shed as of yet. Offensively, Grady Dick, unfortunately, 0 of 3. The struggles continue for him. But the starters have been producing the goods here. Plus 10 for Barnes, plus 10 for Quickly, all in the positives by 7 or more. Josh Giddey, minus 18 for the Bulls here. He's 0 of 3. We are feasting on his minutes and continuing to do that here in the second quarter. The same can be kind of said for Anthony Simons, who was minus 14 in the game. I mean, the big stats are here. Big stats are here. We forced 13 turnovers, only committed 6. 16 points off of those turnovers compared to 2. So, nice that we're up 41-32, absolutely. But the fact that we've taken 9 more shots and 3 more free throws would suggest we should probably be up by more than what it is right now. It's going to be a late one at this rate. Oh, come on. Speed it up, NBA. People got to work after this, some of us. Oh, tomorrow, 10:40. I am pumped. Canada against Finland. 1 game at a time. All right, back from the timeout. Bulls trying to kick into gear a little bit more here. Ingram driving, kick out to Mamu Kilishvili for 3, and the Raptors are their second 3 of the night, and they've opened up their largest lead now, 12-point game. Simons off a screen to Giddey in the corner, Okoro for 3. Off the front of the rim and back right to him. Second chance possession for the Bulls. Buzelis. Darko directing the offense. Ingram well contested. He contested that 3 very well, forcing up a miss. Here come the Raptors again, looking to extend this advantage. Shed in the wing to Walter. Going to pull up the 3 himself. And is off the mark. Yabusele off the glass. Back to Giddey. Struggled tonight. Zips it to Yabusele. Now in the corner, wide open to Okoro. The Raptors content to just allow Okoro to shoot. Like I told you earlier, they'll be okay with that a lot today. And they were okay on that occasion. Ingram pocket pass down to Mamu and just got caught up in his hands and legs. Probably should have done better with it. Other way, Simons for 3 is able to pull it back to 9. I don't know. It looked to me like the pass was decent. Mamu just couldn't get a grip of it. Shed to Ingram. Dumps off to Walter. And throwing it down at the rim, Jacoby Walter. Making sure on that occasion. 46-35 as we did this little bit of pace. A little bit of pace coming into this game now. Nearly another turnover by the Bulls. Buzelis has it. And then nearly another turnover. But it's off of Pirtle's hands and out of bounds for a Bulls ball. Again, a little bit more urgency in this game now, as I mentioned. A little bit more going on here. Buzelis, nice inbound to Trey Jones, who goes to the corner for Okoro for 3, and this time he does hit it. This time he does. Oh, the game isn't on. Sorry, the scoreboard. There it is. All fixed. Raptors looking to get going again. Up by 8. Led by as many as 12. Shed to Ingram. Screen comes from Pirtle. Ingram's got to do the work, though. Simon's all over him. Ingram spins off for 2 and just misses. Yabusele on the rebound. To Jones. Now Giddey driving. Floater. Tough shot. And he draws the foul on the floor. He thinks it was a shooting foul. So it'll be side out of bounds for the Bulls. .4:14 to go in the second. Jones with the right. Spins out. Pirtle and Mamu fight for the rebound. Eventually Mamu corrals it. Goes to Shed. Now Mamu off of the pick and roll. Layup is off the mark. And it looks like it was blocked potentially by Smith. Other way, Okoro. Straight line to the rim. Doesn't go. Rebound batted to Shed. 4-on-3 briefly for the Raptors. Ingram's going to fire away for 3. And it's the right call by the All-Star. 11-point game. Raptors, after no threes in the first quarter, they're 3 of 7 from beyond the arc in the second. As they look to take this advantage into the half. Simon's long-range 3. Gets it right back down to 8. 49-41. Offense starting to come alive for Toronto. Shed. Floater gets the roll. Half-court offense again, clicking more and more. Defense, though, can't have lapses like that too often. Buzelis was wide open for 3 and wasn't able to get it to fall. Feeling the impact of Pirtle's size in some of these possessions here for sure. Just that higher rebounding presence, the box-out presence for sure. Good to see. Pirtle's looked okay here. And I would assume not starting. He's not 100% and he's not playing full minutes, but we keep it moving. He's been fine. 50 points for Ingram. Yes, sir. He's playing well. Should be getting the top guys out here for the final few minutes of the first half. As a reminder, if you're enjoying so far, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more Raptors content from myself. Ingram on the floor with the rest of the starters. Actually, that's not true. Walter's in for Barrett. Other than that, it's the starters. Ball's batted around a few times there, and eventually Ingram has it. 8 on the shot clock as he finds Walter. Now quickly stepping through, finding Murray Bulls out in the corner to Ingram. Oh, what ball movement. It deserved a make. It deserved a 3. But Brandon Ingram cannot provide it. Wow, great ball movement there. First miss from 3 for Ingram today. Buzelis. Pass in for Smith. And a foul against Walter. They call a blocking foul. So looks like, I think it was in the restricted area. I think his heels were in. That is true. Yeah, left heel just in the restricted area. Otherwise, that would have been a charge. Just couldn't get out high enough to draw that foul. So instead, Jalen Smith is going to head to the free throw line. How was dinner? Good, really good. Really good dinner. I made a shrimp burrito. It was fantastic. Or like a shrimp wrap. I don't know. What constitutes a burrito versus a wrap? What is the difference? I don't know. I made a wrap or / burrito with shrimp. Do I think they will pick up or decline the team option on Mobo? That's an interesting question. Probably keep him around a little bit longer, but I wouldn't be shocked if they just decided to move on. They did move on. I'm not sure if he has a future. I don't know who would feel the need to pick him up, you know? Grady's days could be numbered as well. I agree with winner one there. Ingram fouled on the inside. He's going to head to the line, put the Raptors potentially back up by 10. But yeah, Grady's a tough play right now. It's tough to justify playing him. G League would do wonders for Grady. I don't know at this point. His game doesn't seem like one that of like a player who could dominate in the G League. I don't know. Kind of, you need body, so like he's good enough to warrant like, you know, being on your roster right now, but tough to give him minutes. (53-43), 147 to go in the half. In this very, 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 very long first half. Jalen Smith to Trey Jones. I feel like Trey Jones minutes have gone well for the Bulls today. He goes in the corner to Patrick Williams. RJ, a bit too aggressive on the closeout, gave him the ability to pump fake and drive through. You don't need to respect, you know, you really, if you're Barrett, you don't need to respect that corner three from Williams enough to close out like that. A hand up is more than enough. Even like just allowing that three to go sometimes is acceptable for Patrick Williams. No need to really close out so aggressive that you can't recover on the drive, on the attack. So maybe just a lack of recognition of the opposition there, but no matter. 53-45. Simons. I'd hate to be up by less than 8 going into half. Simons airballs a 3, and it bounces out of bounds, but it's attested to have gone off of Scotty Barnes. So it's going to be 8 seconds for the Bulls to make a play here underneath the rim. Inbound to Smith. Now Williams. Excuse me. Trey Jones down the corner. Simon for 3, who's hit a few in the first half. Doesn't go on this occasion. Barrett to Quickly. The Raptors are trying to play with some pace here. Quickly. Looking for Barnes. Now Murray Boyles behind the back. Barrett. No shot comes of it. Barrett's got to do some work on his own. He's got to bail out of it now. Finds Ingram. Can he put up the prayer? Baseline J's no good. And a loose ball foul called against Murray Boyles. Not a great timing. I don't know if they're in the bonus, but if they were, that would not be great timing. It appears it is not bonus situation, so we're all good there. Raptors by 8. Bulls ball, 30 seconds to go. Raptors should get the ball back at some point. Walter going to check in for this final defensive possession as RJ Barrett goes to the bench. Sorry, I'm yawning a lot. Need a Red Bull or something. Trey Jones on it again. Quickly the defender. Jones driving. Kick out to Jalen Smith for 3. No good. Ingram on the rebound. Raptors have 8 seconds. Got to go. Ingram sizing up the situation, taking a moment, rising up in mid-range, no good. just before the buzzer, but it's okay. The Raptors will take an 8-point lead into the first half. Really started to open it up a little bit on offense in that middle portion of the second quarter, but they weren't able to sustain that for the final few minutes of it. But they've done enough here. They're forcing turnovers. The offense has started to click a little bit more. As a result, yes, it is 53-45. We'll take it up by 8 and in position to hopefully strike and win today's game. All right. Again, that does it for the first half. If you guys are enjoying the content, hit that like button. Subscribe for more Raptors content just like it. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go fill up my water. Maybe get a snack so I'm going to get my energy up a little. But when I come back, we'll go through the box score from the first half. We'll talk about what went wrong, what went right in the first half, and get you ready for the second half. Don't go anywhere, guys. I will be right back. Thank you for your patience. I am back. Raptors, like I said, where we left off. Up by 8. Let's dig into the box score from that first half. So, leading the way for the Raptors, Scotty Barnes is on 10 points, 17 points for Brandon Ingram. 27. Yeah, 27. Oh my God. 27 points between them. Raptors as a whole have 53. That is more than half. More than half of the total point output from the Raptors has come from 2 players tonight. So, I guess it's not super atypical. Would it be? I don't know. It feels like we need a little bit more from other sources today. You know, Barrett's 1 of 5. Quickly's 2 of 7. I guess the bench hasn't been inefficient other than Grady Dick, but it feels like we get a little bit more support. A little bit more support for these 2 players here. But yeah, the 2 All-Stars are playing like it. They're playing like they're All-Stars. Brandon Ingram's hit some big shots, even though he's only 6 of 15. Felt better than that, to be honest, but I guess that's relatively inefficient. Barnes 4 of 9 with 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals to go with it. As for the Bulls, Anthony Simons has a couple threes. I thought he had a few, but a couple threes there. Off the bench, yeah, the Trey Jones man, I said it. I feel like they've been going well. They're actually been beating up on the Bulls starters. It's the bench maybe doing a bit more of the damage. Raptors shooting only 42% from the field here. They are 10 of 11 from the line, but again, they've forced 13 turnovers. They have 16 points off those turnovers. They're winning the turnover battle by 6, yet still they're only up by 8. So testament to how poorly they've played on offense as a whole. So hopefully the Raptors can, I mean, they showed signs of it. They started to click into gear a little bit in the second quarter. Hopefully they can continue that the rest of the way here. Grady Dick, another really, really poor showing from him. It's like I said, it's becoming pretty tough. It's becoming pretty tough to play him. It just kind of makes me wonder, like, you know, what is Jamison Battle not doing that Grady Dick is? I feel like I'd prefer to have Jamison Battle out there at times. Like, seriously, what is Jamison Battle? What is Grady Dick doing that Jamison Battle is not going to be able to do? You know what I mean? Anyways. Another reminder, if you missed it earlier, just want to bring some more attention again to charity work that I have gotten involved with for the next little while. I talked to you about the raffle for a private box at an upcoming Toronto Raptors game. The draw for the raffle is on March 1st, and this is for the April 12th game against the Brooklyn Nets. Now, this, I believe, is the... Don't quote me, but I believe this is the regular season finale. So it could be a very important game for the Raptors as they look to solidify a spot potentially in the playoffs. And you can get your raffle tickets by DMing at Let's Cure Lucas on Instagram. $25 for 1 ticket, $50 for 3 tickets, $100 for 10 tickets. And all proceeds, 100% of proceeds, go towards research and development of the gene therapy that is needed for Lucas, who you see on the screen here, who was recently diagnosed with an ultra-rare genetic disease that essentially has led to a deterioration in his fine motor skills and his everyday life. No treatment or research at this point because of how rare this condition is. Only 1 or 2 documented cases worldwide for this. So to help fund the research, they're running this raffle. And for Raptors fans, look, what an opportunity is for you to get yourself into a private box at a Raptors at a Raptors game. You, along with 7 family, friends, whoever, you get 8 tickets for this private box worth $3,500 plus. Great opportunity for that, and you're funding some amazing things along with it as well. If you have the means, like I said, please reach out at Let's Cure Lucas on Instagram. The link is in the description, as well as you can get some more information on it over there. I spoke with them today. Great people doing great work, and it'd be great if you could support them. Back into the NBA here. Cleveland, once again, running wild. They are playing the mere Brooklyn Nets. So far, so good on the James Harden trade, I would say, for Cleveland. Other scores around the league, a narrow loss by the Hornets to the Rockets. The Wizards have been unable to out-tank the Pacers, who win that one. The Wizards win, so therefore the Pacers win. 112-105. And Cleveland absolutely beat down the Brooklyn Nets. Other scores around the league right now. Detroit up by 10 on the Knicks. They beat them by like 50 or something a couple of weeks ago, I think. Close to a top-of-the-table clash, we'll call it, in the East. San Antonio up by, San Antonio crushing the Phoenix Suns, up by 17 there right now. And the Hawks up by 6 late in Philadelphia against the Sixers. I'm not ready to, label Grady Dick a bust necessarily. But we're getting there. I mean, at what stage does, 13th pick, a lottery pick probably, if you're borderline out of the league in 3 or 4 years, that's a bust. At what point is it, impossible for a player to be a bust? Could, a 26th overall pick be a bust if after 4 years they're out of the league? Is that a bust? Unrelated to Grady Dick. I'm just, in general, curious. At what point you can't be a bust? You're taking a risk on a player and it didn't work out. If they played let's say this player plays 4 years in the league, and after 4 years, that's it. Nobody gives him a contract again. What would be the lowest, so therefore higher, that pick would have to be for you to label them a bust? A 20th overall pick, I'd say that's a bust. But if we're getting 29 or 30th overall picks, I don't know. Does it? Is Malachi Flynn a good example? Is Malachi Flynn a bust? I think he was, to be honest. I think it's just pretty much first rounders. Malachi Flynn was 29th overall. Malachi Flynn's a good example, actually, in recent times. Because I would say Malachi Flynn's kind of a bust, wasn't he? But then again, it feels a little bit weird to say that about a guy who was drafted 29th. I mean, yeah, you could obviously look at who you could have drafted instead, and that could help label the bust category. Desmond Bane went 1 pick later. That sucked. Then again, you could have been the team that drafted Desmond Bane and traded him. At least we didn't do that. But no, we did pass on him. Yeah. Hey, in the first round, just keep it simple. Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you're a first-round pick, you're guaranteed 4 years in the league. Actually, that's not true. You're guaranteed 3, and then there's a team option in your 4th year. Yeah, the problem is you draft him to hit threes, and he doesn't fucking hit threes right now. That's what you do. Your entire game is built around hitting threes. And look, that's a pretty safe bet, I think, a lot of the time. It's not like the guy who's been hitting threes his entire life super consistently should just all of a sudden not be able to hit threes anymore, How do you get worse at that? That's what you do. I don't know. I'm not a chef who's hired to make my famous pasta alla zona or something, and then 3 years into my time working for a restaurant, I just forget how to make the friggin' pasta. I don't know. I start losing my execution on the pasta. It doesn't happen. Yeah, that's what you do, you know? It's not an apples to apples comparison, but I don't know. That's the metaphor I thought of there. Also, it'd be like Jalen Smith hits the three. Second half started. Also, like, it would be less of a big deal if you could keep him on the floor for other aspects, but he hasn't gotten like better at. I mean, he maybe has gotten better at stuff, but he's still very far from being a contributor in any other area of the game. Not a good passer, not a great ball handler. Doesn't create his own shots. Doesn't finish the rim well. Very bad defender. Like, you know, defense gets you a long way in this league. Yeah, maybe like the added distance NBA affected him, but then again, he's shot a lot better from three in the NBA previously. He's been a 35% shooter from three, and he's not that this season. Yeah, maybe his defense has gotten much better, but it's still bad. Giddy in the corner to Okoro, who loses the handle. Out of bounds for a Raptors ball. Yeah, I know there's better defenders, but like a wide open three is a wide open three. No matter who's defending you, a wide open three is a wide open three. Ingram over top of Smith. Another miss. Been a lot of points on relatively inefficient field goal percentages for Ingram today. Smith for three again, doesn't fall this time. He spends too much time shaved. I mean, he's always clean shaved. Do you think if you RJ for three, okay, we like that. If you're sponsored by Gillette and you do a razor commercial, do you think it's in your contract somewhere that you gotta be clean shaved? Because like, what if Grady, like a few months after that Gillette commercial, which is that commercial, I swear it's been like. Is that new? I feel like it's been going for like a couple years now. Anyways, do you feel like if Grady just grows out like a beard, how would that look for Gillette? Probably not great, right? There must be there's gotta be a stipulation in there that he's gotta be clean shaved. I've never seen this man with a fucking speck of facial hair. Maybe he just doesn't grow facial hair, but I don't know. I haven't seen this guy with a speck of facial hair in 2.5 years of seeing him. He's a bit younger, though, to be fair. I mean, how old is he? 21 or 22? Coach challenge here by Chicago. How old's Grady Dick? My beard didn't come in until he's 22. Okay, you know what? I don't know why I care. My beard didn't really fill in until I was 23. Because I was still in school. Definitely when I was 20, it wasn't filled. No. By the time I was 21, it was. Maybe he's probably old enough. Mine didn't fill until I was 21. I was 19. I had stubble that didn't quite connect here. But yeah, by the time I was 21, it was good. All right, we're already off topic. I just saw a commercial for full body deodorant. Now I shower every day. I use deodorant a couple times a day. Normal, I think, in terms of my hygiene. Don't do anything crazy, but I'm normal with my hygiene. Does the body need full body deodorant? Is that a product that is necessary? Or is that a classic case of a company trying to tell you need something that you don't? I feel like if I shower and use soap and use deodorant under my arms like an average person does, I feel like the need for full body deodorant is not there. But I don't know, deodorant companies just trying to invent a new product line. I don't know. I'm sure this stuff's been tested, but like feels unnecessary to me. Coming from, but I believe it's coming from a non-stinky person. CMB clearly still has an injured finger. Just don't know why Darko is playing him. Just let him rest. Well, he's really good. That's why. He's clearly hurt, but he's really good. So you want that guy to play. But yeah, I agree his fingers hurt. Every fucking game I see him grab it like 3 times. So here, finally back commercial. It looked like a foul on Simons. But the Bulls challenged that. I don't think that'll get overturned. Don't believe the height. Sugary Lawson says. Don't believe the height. What height? Not everyone showers. Probably. I mean, I guess, but like, I think if you feel like, you know, what? Like, if you don't shower properly and you need full body, you don't just shower properly. Like, what? I don't know. Strange. If it's like, you know, like Febreze is like a truly incredible product. Truly incredible invention. Its ability to not mask the smell, but it genuinely just gets rid of bad smells. You know, Febreze, when it originally came out, was odorless. But it got rid of the bad odors that you sprayed it on. But people who used the product didn't believe it did that. So they had to add scent so that it smelt clean. So it has like the odor locking power of Febreze, which I don't imagine this full body deodorant does. Then I could see an appeal to it, but no, I don't get it. Anyways, we're off the rails here. Let's get back on it here. Grady Dick to Anthony Simons, getting to the glass and putting it high off and finishing. 9-point game. CMB is good. The people that I talk to who I respect their NBA opinions and are very quick to be critical of a player and very quick to like undersell players, I think. The most like negative minded people on NBA talent are high on CMB that I know. And these are not like Raptors fans saying it either. So there's very quiet excitement on CMB around the basketball media space or basketball space as a whole. So yes, if he develops a shot, good Lord, is he going to be good? As if he already isn't good. Giddy the line for the Bulls. Ingram attacking, and he draws the foul. Free throws for the Raptors there. 64-55. 8:44 to go in the third. Another reminder to hit the like button if you are enjoying the content so far. Giddey driving, losing it, getting it back, and fouled on his way up. Cavs have gone clear with Harden. Yeah, they have improved a lot with Harden. We'll see if it's just like a honeymoon phase, but they look good. They look good for sure. Oh, my dog coming to say hi. Hello, Juno. Hey, buddy. And she leaving. I will close the door. Get out of here. Could it have made Harden work with us? I mean, they maybe could have, but perhaps the Clippers preferred Garland. Ingram for three, another miss. Full court pass, stolen by Quickly though. 5-on-2 for the Raptors. Need to be 2 points, and it is with Quickly on the floater. Oh, don't believe the hype with Sugary Loss says with the just shower. You're right, just shower. It'll be okay, I think. It's like t-shirt companies that make like for guys. They'll make a t-shirt for guys and they'll promote it like it's tight around your arms and chest but looser on your stomach to, highlight your big arms and chest but doesn't show your belly. And like every fucking shirt is made like that. It's not like a special feature your shirt has. Every fucking shirt does that. So it's like another case of trying to make you think you need something that you don't. Quickly draws the foul and is able to hit in mid-range. Potential three-point play at the line. Beards absorb a lot of debris. As a beard haver. Not a large beard. I don't know about that. What do I think the NBA All-Star? What do I think of the NBA All-Star this year? I didn't watch any of it. I heard the games are pretty good. And I hope they keep the format for next year. Next draft is crazy. Are we losing out on generational talent? At a certain point, you need to try and win games. So I think it's okay to be in the playoffs and miss out on a good draft because you're trying to win games. That's what the game is about. It's about winning basketball games. Long range three for Simons, off the mark, rebound for Ingram. If Raptors make the playoffs, I am not losing sleep over the draft. I mean, I wouldn't lose sleep over it anyways, but Jakob fumbles the rebound, but it lands right in Barrett's hands, who finishes. Points have been hard to come by for RJ tonight, so he will relish that opportunity. Okoro to Simons. Now Buzelis for three. Doesn't go. Rebound to Richards. Now Simons. Layup. Doesn't fall. It's out of bounds off of the Bulls. Raptor ball. I mean, the difference in beard is what you have. You're just saying Duck Dynasty beard. I've always wanted to try and grow mine out, but then it gets a bit long and it bothers the hell out of me and I stop. I need to really give it a go one day. But it also kind of grows out weird. It starts to like flare out a bit, which is usually when I stop. But I haven't grown it that long in a while. Maybe I'll try again. I'll try again soon. I've wanted to shake things up a little. I've looked the same for like 2 years. The Abe Lincoln beard, the real ladle, the just down here. No. Okay. Italian beard. I don't know what that is. Quickly to Ingram, then Walter. Misses a three, gets his own miss, and then he gets the reverse layup to fall. Walter chipping in with some points today at least. Quickly driving the floor. Gonna pull up for three in transition. Doesn't fall. Rebound to Okoro. Here come the Bulls the other way. Raptors up by 11. Buzelis to Jones for three. And he gets it right back for the Bulls. Structure the beer. I don't know how to structure it. I think I do okay with it for now. Ingram to the rim and finishes. 10-point game. Trey Jones immediately the other side. Finds Simons. Working on Walter. Good defense. And a loose ball foul. Call against Richards or something. There should be. I haven't seen it in a while, but there should be something there. I've lost a bit of weight. What would this team be without BI? Be pretty bad on offense, I think. He opens up a lot. Thankfully, we have him. Good for you, man. You fucking brought it up. Don't give me this goddamn attitude. Unless you're genuine. I don't think anyone has ever used, it was sincere. I don't think I've ever heard the words "good for you, man" ever be uttered in a non-sarcastic tone. So I think that's why I took it that way. So my apologies. Nobody has ever unironically, genuinely said "good for you, man" to me. I don't know about you guys. That is not a sincere phrase. That is the classic. That might be the number one classic sarcastic line. So, my apologies. 75-64. Shed to Walter for three. Opens the lead up to 14. That, I believe, is their largest lead. 4:37 to go in the third. I wasn't going to crash out. It was just like, you asked. Like, it's not like I'm gloating about myself. Unprompted. Jan and Jamie asked about the Kawhi quote. I did hear about it. I talked about it on yesterday's stream in depth. But in short, I didn't like it. No matter what he meant, the phrasing was very disrespectful. 80-66. Jones inside for Richards. Wow, nice lob. 12-point game. Mamu for three. I know, like, it's probably not what he meant, but he should have enough respect for the team to word it correctly. Bulls kind of pulling it back a little there. A couple baskets in a row and the foul this time, so a chance to make it a 9-point game. Kawhi knows he left a couple of rings here. I don't know. I wonder if it does dwell on him. Because obviously it dwells on us. He left a potential ring on the table. I don't think they would have won it, but I think they had a great shot next year. I thought it was disrespectful as well. And I have a clip coming out about it, I think, on Saturday. Unless I do something tomorrow that moves it. There's a clip coming out. Anyways, just watch the full stream because the streams are good. And I talked about it a bunch. But I don't think we beat the Lillard. I think the Raptors were the best team. I know they lost to the Celtics. COVID fucked us. I think we were the best team in the East that year. Just, lost our ability to have home court in the conference semis. Plus Siakam forgot how to play basketball during lockdown. And despite that, they were like a basket away from the conference finals. So imagine just injecting Kawhi into that team. Now, the Lakers are really good that year. 80's jump shot was cooking. LeBron was playing amazing. Lakers were a team. KCP was playing well. Danny Green wasn't playing well, but he's a guy, right? That was a team. Even Rondo was playing pretty well. Kuzma, solid off the bench. They'd have been tough, but you're playing against LeBron. You've got Kawhi to guard him. Yeah, you had a real shot there, but it did. Kawhi didn't stay, and we didn't win the conference semifinals. So it is what it is. Always let teams that game because it's a game of runs. It's hard to continue to press the offense forward. The things go back and forth. We were up by 7 and then they tied it. It wouldn't be that crazy. Just be like, well, that happens. Up by 14 and now it's 7. It's like giving up the lead. We've given up our large lead. These things happen. Alandar asked, non-Raps good. How's the shift to mainly live content been for you? Mentally, amazing. It's much less taxing on myself. I'm enjoying the content a lot more. I enjoy the chatting with you aspect of it a lot more. My role at work has over time gotten more significant, which has just made it really taxing on myself to continue to put out the videos I used to do. So it's much less demanding on my schedule now. I understand the content isn't as good as it previously was. The production value isn't as good. I recognize that. But for myself, I was really starting to, I wouldn't say not enjoy it, but it was becoming a real, again, burden is not the correct word, but it was tough. It was getting really tough. And the shift, viewership is not as high as it was when I was doing the videos previously. But I'm enjoying it a lot more, which is the most important part of it. I still think the streams are pretty good. I'm getting clips out of the streams. They're still getting decent views. I'm putting more content out than I was before. It's not as many views as it was before, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. The recording aspect of it, the editing, it was just very, very taxing. And I'm enjoying it way more now. Ingram for 3. And he continues to pile on the points. Raptors back up by 10. It was a good question, though. Also, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday aspect of it keeps me kind of on schedule, locked in. That's goaltending. Oh, it's good. The 1 year we tried Twitch was a disaster. Not gonna lie. It actually was not a disaster. The reason I switched was that live stream viewership was hurting the videos, which was true, and the Twitch switch actually helped with that, and the videos started performing better. So the Twitch switch was necessary. YouTube has since changed their algorithm to treat videos and streams a bit differently, or to treat them differently, and that's when we came back. But I much prefer. I mean, back when I had more free time, I was running 3-4 channels. I was doing videos. I was doing watch-alongs. I don't know how I had all the time for that, but I just don't anymore. So, I stream after work hours, and again, I am much less stressed doing it, and I'm much happier with the workflow. And I'm happy it's all in one place now, a little bit. It was Sally for 3, off the mark. Ingram launches it cross court to Shed. What a pass. Shed cannot hit the three. So the Bulls trying to chip a bit further into this lead. It's an 8-point game. Raptors led by as many as 14 just a few minutes ago. Looking to start off the last third of the season here with a win. Sexton for 3. And no good there. Ingram on the rebound. Ingram, pass down low to CMB. Layup is good. Raptors by 10. Matthew asks, do you follow Canada Hockey Olympics? Yes, I watched a bunch of the women's games. I've watched all of the men's games in full. I watched the gold medal game in full today. That was a heartbreaker for sure. I'm very excited for tomorrow. I'm going to be out with a friend. I'm off work this week, mostly. Kind of. I'm still doing work. I'm just on my own schedule this week, so I'm going to be out with a friend watching that one tomorrow. I'm excited. Ingram in mid-range, again connecting. It's 87-75. Guess Cade's stat line right now versus New York. Probably pretty crazy. Let's go like 31, 12, and 8 or something. Look at Grady sitting on the bench. Yeah, it would appear, unless he starts the fourth quarter, it appear his night might be over. 37, 10, and 6. I wasn't that far off, but wow, that's a big stat line. Damn, the Pistons really are a force to be reckoned with these. The Knicks have not been competing. The Knicks haven't even competed with them the last couple of games they played. The Czechia coach for that BS statement of the 6 minutes. Oh, what did the Czechia coach? I saw the Czechia coach said he was complaining about the officials, though Czechia almost won because of a goal with 6 people on the ice. Actually, at the time the goal went in, they had 8 players on the ice because they were shifting some guys out, which was made for a funny photo. But very clearly, they had 6 players on the ice at the time of the goal, which was missed by the officials. (87-76). Raptors by 11. Can they add on a little bit more to end the third? 10 seconds. Ingram working on Patrick Williams. Spinning off. Ooh, we got to look. Doesn't go. 2 seconds for Sexton. And Jones. And he lays it in. Oh, wow. They got it off. So, really good execution there at the buzzer by the Bulls. And that makes it a 9-point game. All right. We have been in this position in the recent run of games. Did he get this off? He did. And we've lost some of these games. So, what can the Raptors do to keep this one in check and get over the line in this game here today? Probably have to lean quite a bit on Brandon Ingram. He's got 29 points. Wow, 10 of 23 here. 7 rebounds, 4 assists to go with it. Barnes on 12 with 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Couple steals. RJ, much better in that third quarter. Up to 10. Also up to 10. Walter's got 11 off the bench. The offense is starting to flow here. Up by 9. They just got to finish the job now. And when you got your best on best here, they've been dominating. Giddey's minus 20. Simon's minus 16. We've been beating their top guys, so let's do it here. Miss Javon Freeman Liberty. Speak for yourself. I don't miss Javon Freeman Liberty. I think we're a little okay without him. As for the field goal percentages, 45% for the Raptors, 30% for 3. Not great, but it's enough, especially when you're winning a turnover battle by 6. I miss DeAndre Bembry. I don't personally. Who do I miss? Who do I miss in those ragtag days of this team? Nobody. I can't think of one player. Oh, I wish we had this guy. Rodney Hood. One player I do always miss, Rondé Hollis Jefferson. That one Paul Watson game. If memory serves me, Paul Watson scored 30 points against the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is for sure. 30 against the Thunder. The very next day, scored 0. That I know for sure. The very next day, he scored 0 after scoring 30. Where I'm not sure, that 30-point game might have been the last time Paul Watson ever registered a point for the Raptors. I feel like that is true, but I could be wrong. I will quickly verify that statistic myself. But yes, he did follow up a 30-point game with a 0-point game. That I know for sure. Let me find it. The Tampa season, baby. All right. I am indeed correct. I'm correct. So he was 10 of 13. He was 10 of 13 against Orlando in that 30-point game. And the very next day, he was 0 of 10, scored 0 points for the Raptors. The 30th point he scored in that game against Orlando was the final point he ever registered for the Raptors. Because the game later, he had 0, and he never played for the Raptors again. So I was right. He had a 30-point game, and then never scored again. How fucking crazy is that? What a, like, I don't know how you could phrase that for, like, a pub trivia question, but, like, his last ever point for the Raptors was the 30th point of the night for him. I imagine a career high. He played a day later and scored 0, and then never played again for the Raptors. How do you even, like, how do we word that effectively for, like, a pub quiz or something? I feel like it's just so crazy, the wording, that it would be, like, obvious. You'd have to say, like Paul Watson Jr. scored 30 points for Raptors on this date against the Orlando Magic. In the remaining 15 games of the season, how many times did he reach 10 points or more? Because, like, you can't say, like, over under half a point in the rest of his Raptors career. Yeah, a good trivia quiz will be Chris Paul's last NBA team. That'll be a good one. Keon Clark, yeah. That would be a cool guy to have. But I mean from, like, the banter era, I would call it, for the Raptors. Like, Stanley Johnson, I don't miss him. Yuta Watanabe, I don't miss, because it was just the chat saying, why don't they play this guy more? Then he plays and hits no threes and doesn't do anything. $87-81. Bulls bench once again chipping into the Raptors' advantage. Well, for sure. I mean, like, I miss Siakam, obviously, but I'm saying, like, you know, the depth guys. Is there a guy that we would benefit from here? Here come the Bulls again. Sexton layup off the mark. Grady Dick actually doing some good work on defense. Here he is on offense. That's a charge. Yeah. Grady. Just dump it off to the side. It's a layup. It's 2 points. Nope. Turnover. But we need the points. A quick 5-0 run for the Bulls to start the fourth quarter. Matt Thomas. Don't know why we got rid of him. Okay. If you don't know why, I'll tell you. He could hit threes. That's it. He was just unplayable in, like, every other aspect of the game. Didn't Henry Ellenson have a random 20 ball for us that year? No way. No. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'm not sure Henry Ellenson played in the NBA for us that year. I think, like, they signed him and didn't use him. Mamu to the rim. There we go. Needed that. He had a 9-point game. Okay, my apologies. He did play. I feel like he was on a 10-day and then didn't get another one. But, again, that season is a blur at times. Yabusele misses the layup. Good defense from Mamu. Other way. Quickly. 5 out of 4. Gotta go, man. Inside for Barnes. Gotta get it up. He's fouled. He's going to head to the line here. Terrence Davis. Not a player I miss, really. He's out of the league now, isn't he? Or is he still? No, he's got to be out of the league now. Jalen Harris was one that, like, too bad he did cocaine because he might have had something. But, you know, he never played. I don't think he played the NBA after we cut him, so I don't know. Guess he wasn't that good. People have done worse and stayed in the. People have done worse and are still in the NBA. Freddie Gillespie, God, that guy sucked. That guy was really good, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. Or he was like just better than Aaron Baines and Alex Len, and then he turned out he sucked. 8-point game, 91-83. Dillingham got the 2 there. RJ going to the rim, and he is held ball with Colin Sexton. Good defense there. I made a video on phrasing the gym. Well, he was at the time. Granted, I have evolved, in my opinion, I've evolved quite a bit on my understanding of the sport since I started doing content. I've gotten older. I've gotten wiser, to put it poorly, I'd say. But I've my understanding of the sport and what it takes to win has evolved quite a lot over time. Obviously, that's my opinion on, like, my opinions have changed radically. I put much less value on, you know, these 10-day guys or younger guys coming up. I put much more value into certain aspects of the game and less value in other aspects of the game that I used to favor. You know, like mid-range shooting, I've changed. My opinion has changed dramatically on over time. Styles of play, it just, yeah. Yeah, I was a little delusional with some things at the time, for sure. I feel like I'm a lot less like that now. I feel like I've just gotten better, hopefully, over the years. It's been years, right? So Giddey checking back in. He's minus 20 tonight. Well, I've been doing content for longer than that, but yeah, since then, 5 years. That was 2021. It's 2026, big dog. Justin Champagny. You know, there's a player that I wouldn't mind. I liked him. I had G League season tickets that year. He was a baller for the 905. Tell you who is good, actually, though. Julian Champagny is actually good. Barnes got hit in the face there. He's shaken up. The Raptors should probably call a timeout, but okay. Is Barnes okay? There he is. He's back at it. Give him the ball. I think he's ready to kill. Quickly for 3. But an illegal screen call against Barnes didn't go in anyway. Looked like Barnes maybe got hit in an awkward spot there. I'm not sure. But he went down, and the Bulls added 2. Giddey in the corner to Yabusele for 3. And he connects. It's a 5-point game, and it's starting to get a little bit dicey for the Raptors here. Went to a G League game this season. Was great. Yeah, I liked it. I had season tickets one year, and I really liked going. I'm just way busier now, but it was a lot of fun when I had that. Quickly, he's trying to work on Dillingham here, and he finishes in the paint. Good stuff there. 95-88. The 6'9" roster. I mean, what do you know about the 21-22 Raptors? That was a playoff team that was built on 6'9" talent. Like, we made the playoffs playing like that. RJ going up in these fouls, so Raptors chance to reopen up the lead a little bit more here. That team was a 5 seed. It was like Achua, Thad playing center in the playoffs, Barnes, Fred, Siakam, OG, Trent. That team made the playoffs, man. They got murked on the glass. Wow, Merck's a word I hadn't heard in a while. They wasn't even. They were a good rebounding team. They crashed the offensive glass. That was a huge part of their game, was possession battles. Now, the NBA has evolved back towards size again, but that year it was pretty crazy how they were so good. Defense rebound. Okay, fair. Dellingham for 3. And another one drops the Bulls. It's back to a 6-point. Right? That's a 2. They called it 2. Foot on the line. So 2. It's a 6-point game. Okay, we got to watch this. We got to dial in. Stop distracting me, everyone. Quickly. Nice pass to Barnes. Oh, my God. And he was just way too casual on that. Like, just fucking finish that, man. What is that? Soft shit. Make use of these opportunities. Giddy, spinning, layup is good. 4-point game. Timeout Raptors. And we've been in this position before. Oh, man. Okay, need to dial it back in here, Toronto. The offense has gone a little bit cold, and the Bulls are right back in this game now. Oh, we can't keep doing this to ourselves, man. Just a comfortable game, please. Still up by 4. 7:21 to go. The starters, when we've had the starters in, they have been pretty dominant against the Bulls. So hopefully we're back to best on best. Raps can once again take over this game. Yeah, it'd be really, really good to start off this section of the season with a win. Get the vibes going. Feel good. Let's go do this. Bulls didn't come all the way back to lose. Well, Raptors didn't go all the way ahead to lose either. You can fucking spin it 2 ways. What's the over-under for number of years till the Raptors make the finals again? Oh, jeez. I'm not sure, unfortunately, I'd have to be realistic and say, the number would have to be pretty freaking high for me to take the under. It's really hard. It's very, very hard to make the NBA Finals. I don't know. You'd have to give me a number for the over-under, and I'll tell you. I'm telling you, that number's got to be really, really high. We're not even close, man. I'm easily taking the over there. Really hard to do it. Really, really hard to do it. Once in 30 years, 17. I'm taking the over there. I'm telling you, that number's got to be real high. No, it's just really hard to make the finals. The market the Rabs are in, it's a little bit harder as well. There's teams who have gone their entire history without an NBA Finals appearance. I'll take the under on 39 years. Ingram, turnaround for 2, doesn't go. Just the looks we're getting, the looks we get in these fourth quarters sometimes when we blow up like this. out of a timeout. That's the best we got. Oh, Shed doing the work on defense, getting the steal. Got to be 2 points here. Ingram to Walter. I mean, 3 points would be even better. Corner three. What a time. We needed that. Jacoby Walter puts it in from the corner. Whew. Needed that. Jacoby Walter stepping up big time today. This guy's saying rebuild. What's your opinion? I don't know. I don't know what you're asking. Rebuild. We're in the second year of the rebuild. It's going pretty well, I'd say. What do I think about another Canadian team during the expansion? Find it unlikely. Expansion is... I bet the house Vegas gets an expansion team, and I feel pretty good Seattle will get the other one. Canada... I think Montreal would struggle as a market in the NBA, unfortunately. Vancouver has tried and unsuccessfully done it. I think they'd do it better this time, but I don't know. It's not an easy sell. There's a lot of easier sells in US markets. Brampton Blasters for the NBA. Hamilton Hustlers. No, we ain't gonna do another Southern Ontario. I think if they have to relocate somewhere in Canada or expand somewhere in Canada, I'd be Vancouver. Sorry, I think I misspoke. If they had to relocate to Canada or expand to Canada, Vancouver I think gets a team. Montreal I think is unlikely, but I don't know. I'm not one of the decision makers. Yukon Yams. What's your opinion on tanking this season? Tanking sucks. Tanking is bad for the sport, but teams should do it because it's helpful to them. Make it not helpful. With expansion, how do I feel about Minnesota, Memphis being relocated to the East? I'm fine with it. Like, East gets tougher with Minnesota, but they are pretty Eastern located teams, aren't they? What sport and city would you want Canada to have in the Major League, given the opportunity for any? I kind of like the way it is right now, where Toronto is Canada's team. I live in Toronto, so I'm selfish, and I like how the entire nation gets that support. NFL in Toronto would be pretty cool, so I guess if I had to choose, it'd be NFL, but I'm already a fan of a different NFL team, so I don't feel the need for an NFL team here because I wouldn't be a fan of them. I'm a New York Giants fan. A Toronto's franchise would not change that aspect. In fact, it would make me less want there to be a team here because I'd feel really pissed off if my hometown team won a championship and I'm not a fan of them. Anyways, back from the commercial, 99-92. Yabusele outside to Patrick Williams, driving, sidestep, and finishing. You can't be getting cooked by Patrick Williams like this, man. One time was enough. Can't be letting Patrick Williams do you on the perimeter like this. 99-94. Ingram. Tough shot with the right, doesn't go. Rebound, batted around, and eventually in the hands of Giddey. Less than 6 to go. It's a 5-point game. Raptors trying to grind their way through this one. Giddey pass nearly stolen. 5 on the shot clock. Giddey. 3 on the shot clock. Hands up. Prayer 3. Air ball. Raptors have it back. Yeah, Yaba's been pretty good for the Bulls from what I've seen since he's been there briefly. After, yes, not so great with the Knicks. Quickly checking out here for the Raptors. Walter in the game. He's played well tonight. So it's Shed, Walter, Murray, Boyles, Ingram, and Barnes. CMB going up strong, drawing the foul. It looks like he hurt his hand a little bit here. And that is the thumb that had been bothering him for quite some time. He is going to head to the line here. Is Canada good to live for? Live for? I guess. Live in. I like it here, other than the snow. So he made the first free throw, so he's still shaking up a bit. He's trying to get some feeling back into the thumb, it looks like. But he made the first free throw. Let's see if he can get the second one as well. Every point is precious to this team right now. And he makes both free throws with the hand injury. Good to see. 101-94. Every point, like I said, pivotal to the Raptors, who have struggled for offense late in some of these fourth quarter settings this season. But that'll help. Anthony Simons with an errant pass to Walter. Slows it down, gives it to Shed. Bringing some poise to the offense here. Working on Buzelis. Now Barnes going up strong, and he's blocked by Jalen Smith. Other side, it's Patrick Williams. Pass to Simons for three. In and out. Raptors catch a break. 5 to go. Slowing it down. Got to keep the pace, really, with this offense. We were successful in transition, not as much in the half court. And you can't just pray for the clock to run out. Barnes going to go to work. Double comes. Walter cuts. And he's blocked at the rim by Smith. Shed with the floater. Oh, my God. Will it go? It spins around for ages. I think it did eight revolutions on the rim, if you will. 8 orbits of the mesh. And eventually fell. 9-point game. And then Shed called for a foul. It's on the floor. CMB, good pick for Raptors, not a redundant position. Very good pick for the Raptors. It'll never be a problem to draft a really good player, regardless of the positional needs or lack thereof. If you're good enough, they're going to play you, and they're going to find a way to play you. Usually. Then you have, the Charlie Villanuevas, where wow, we really didn't need him, but typically You'll do just fine drafting best player available. So I don't know if they're going to challenge that, but Shed was convinced it wasn't a foul. I think this will be a bit tough to overturn, but we will see. If I was able to own an NBA team, which team would you choose? The Lakers, obviously. Biggest market, biggest fail-safe franchise. You can just completely fuck up for 10 years and then land a superstar free agent because you're the Lakers, and all of a sudden you can build a contender out of that. The Lakers. No doubt. Any other answer is wrong. So let's see the replay of this foul. I don't know about. I don't know if this is a foul. It might be tough to overturn. But Shed kind of gets the hand. It'll be tough to overturn that. I don't think they're going to overturn this if the Raptors did in fact challenge. And I think that, they're looking at it. I don't think they're going to win this. But we'll see. When the clock eclipses the 3-minute mark, I will close the chat to avoid any spoilers. Though I highly encourage you in the chat to not spoil, so that anybody else who's synced up with myself on the game clock here, they will not have it spoiled for them. As a reminder, guys, if you're enjoying the stream so far, do me a favor and hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more Raptors content, news, updates, discussion 3 times a week. Watch parties for most Raptors games. I'll be live tomorrow for some more Raptors news and updates. I will not be live on Sunday for the Raptors game against the Bucks. I'm out. Sorry, guys. So we have the ref here. What is the call? So it's going to be a unsuccessful challenge by the Raptors. That was a pretty poor use of the challenge, to be honest. The touch gate or whatever, the curling gate thing from Sweden and Canada was a little funny. A little petty from Sweden, it seemed. I'm no curling expert, but it seemed unnecessary. But the rules are the rules, I suppose. Just people aren't always following those rules to a T, but, you know, it is what it is. Canada in the gold medal game. All right, here is Jones driving for the Bulls. They've done well in his minutes today. Jones driving, floater, blocked by Scotty Barnes. Murray Boyles on the rebound. Here come the Raptors, up by 9, looking to expand. Walter for 3 again, and this time does not hit from the corner. Bulls catch a break and move the other way with Simons. Now Jones, defended by Shed. Buzelis to Patrick Williams. Not him, please. Anthony Simons loses it. Here come the Raptors again. Ingram to Shed. Cycling outside. Not a good look there for him with P. Will defending, so Raptors decide to kill some clock. We've got Ingram in a pretty good mismatch here. Okay, they're going to put Buzelis on him. Still a decent look. It's off of Trey Jones and out of bounds for Raptors ball. They have 6 seconds for a baseline possession. A chance to come up with something here. 3:18 to go in this game. Raptors looking to close out what could be here a win on the return from the All-Star break. And good psychologically to win a game like this. Inbound to Walter. Going up. Jalen Smith deterring, but CMB gets the miss and misses. What a chance for Murray Boyles. Other side, Smith blocked by Ingram. No, it's a foul. Sorry. Damn, CMB had a good look there. You got to finish that. I was in New York in October. See a Broadway show, and I see these 2 glamorous guys walk and sit in front of us during intermission. I saw it was Scotty and Grady Dick. Wow. Oh, it's like not glamorous, ginormous guys. Yes, they are tall. That's funny. I hope they didn't obstruct your view of the Broadway show. All right, 3:09 to go. Quickly is coming back in. They're going to take out Walter, so it's a quick breather for Quickly. They're going to close with Quick here. They are not going to close with RJ Barrett. So RJ has struggled for minutes in this fourth quarter. RJ just 23 minutes tonight. They're going to roll with Shed for the last little bit of the game, it would seem. 103-96. Game is far from over. And an errant pass like Scotty Barnes will not help. Trey Jones in transition, easy layup. All of a sudden, it's a 5-point game. And I'm going to close the chat here so that we do not get any spoilers. I'm going to lock in quickly to CMB. I'm really nervous now. Wow. A couple buckets just changed things there. 103-98. Shed. 5 in the shot clock. Give it to Ingram or something, man. I don't know. Shed spinning. Stripped by Jones. Out of bounds off Shed. And the Bulls have it back again. And here they come. Raptors have not trailed. I don't think... Oh, no. They trailed brief. I think they were down 30-29. I think the only time they trailed. Or 31-30. Anyways. Buzelis 3. Air ball. Smith with the rebound out to Simons. And it's a 2-point game. Raptors have one timeout, so they cannot use it here. 7-0 run by the Bulls. And usually, if you don't score for a while, yeah, a run will go against you because you're just not scoring. And the Raptors once again faltering in the clutch on offense. Ingram in the corner to Shed for three. Does not go, and the Bulls can tie or take the lead now. Raptors clutch defense, excellent this season. Clutch offense, horrendous. That'll help. Jalen Smith, heel on the line. It's a turnover by the Bulls. Yeah, clutch defense been great, but you need to score as well sometimes. Turnovers, I mean, that was a really, really bad turnover by Barnes. Like, didn't even get close to getting to Ingram there. RJ will check in, actually, here. So they're going to try and find a way to generate some offense. RJ should help with that. So I understand getting him in here. (103, 101). Ingram, they're going to have to, are they trying to just get him to do it? And they send the double. He goes down low to Murray Boyles, who gets the and one. Oh, what a moment and what a time for the rookie. They send the aggressive double Ingram's way. He finds a contested CMB down low, a tough pass. And CMB, through the contact of Anthony Simons, is able to convert. And this free throw would be huge as well to make it a 5-point game. Every point, I told you like 9 minutes ago, every point is precious as CMB rattles it through. 106, 101. One more stop would go a very, very long way right now. Can they find it? Simons going to look for a three. Simons trying to separate off quickly. Great defense, to be fair. And he misses. Rebound. Ooh, Barnes got it. Wow, quickly. Got to show some appreciation there. That was some excellent defense on Anthony Simons. He was hunting a shot. Quickly did not give him much to look at. And Smith missed the tip before Barnes got the rebound. Ingram fading away. Is this the dagger? It just might be. Brandon Ingram. The lead is 7. 108, 101. And in the big moments, Brandon Ingram comes through with the clutch assist and the clutch bucket. Is it enough? With 35 seconds to go. Whew. That was clutch, baby. They get the and one, they get the stop, they get the bucket. They are almost there. Making themselves work for it, though. Finish strong. Hit the like button, everyone. We are almost at the end. We're almost there. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Can we come through? What a game from Brandon Ingram, man. Sensational. 31 points. 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and the clutch buckets to go with it. All right, one more stop, and I think that's it. Let's do it. Another make for the Bulls in this game is still very much on. Giddey. To Simons. Oh, he's blocked on the 3 by Colin Murray Boyles. Other way, Barrett nearly loses it. And then he's fouled by Giddey. And I think that is going to be enough. Colin Murray Boyles. We talk about the clutch plays. Got back and got the big hand up on that Simons corner 3 to possibly seal this one. RJ at the line to bring this lead a little bit more comfortably out. First free throw is good. Raptors by 8. Second free throw now for RJ. to bring it out to 9. And I think the Bulls might throw another one up. I mean, they could dribble it out, but I think this one, well, no, they may as well shoot a 3. RJ makes both, up by 9. Bulls probably going to launch one here. Giddey, turnover. RJ Barrett. And, respectful, he's going to dribble it out. And that is that. The Raptors 110-101 victory. Roll into Chicago. Pretty, not comfortable, but, they were up for pretty much the entire game by a fair few. It got a bit dicey. Bulls brought it down to 2. But they didn't get one more point. They brought it down to 2, 103-101. They didn't score again. The Raptors get some clutch makes, some clutch stops, some clutch plays, and come through in a big moment. They needed that. They've had a few games where they've fallen apart in the clutch. They've given games away in the clutch. Must feel really good to come out of the All-Star break and just get the job done. And the defense, the offense, in the end, pretty good. The defense was dialed in. The Raptors got to feel pretty happy with the way this one went down. 6 players into double digits for points. Brandon Ingram leading the way was 31, but you had RJ on 13 in the end. Barnes on 14. Murray Boyle is excellent on 11. Emmanuel Quickley on 14. Jacoby Walter, what a game from him off the bench, 14. Maybe a win the day chain goes his way. Maybe it goes the way of Murray Boyles. Maybe it just goes to Brandon Ingram. But enough for the Raptors to come through and win this game. All right, that has been your watch party here on my YouTube channel, the Jacob Gramegna channel, rebranded. If you didn't notice, I took away amateur sports. A new era. I want the representation to be myself. More professional feel. Amateur sports, though, is still here. It will live on. It is still, the content's still amateur sports, isn't it? But anyways, guys, that's the end of today's stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you haven't done it yet, just double check before you click off. Make sure you've liked. Take a second. If you're on your TV, you flick up and swipe through. If you're on your computer, you just click. Easy. You're on your phone. You may have to click more details. Whatever you got to do, hit the like button. I'm back tomorrow for the Raptors Happy Hour, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully reacting to a Canada men's hockey win in their semifinal in Finland. And, of course, talking all things Raptors and NBA with you. Hope to see you there, everyone. Have a great Friday. See you tomorrow.